second failed buyback attempt to hold the Roshan. Lose the game to Alliance.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ASUS ROG Dreamleague Season 2. We're in the European West Division. It's day 2.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
We're color coordinated.
We are.
It's pretty good.
That's good.
Production forgot to mute their microphone.
Production forgot to mute their microphone.
It's not a big deal, though. We're just saying.
Now they muted their microphone.
That's better.
How you doing, Andy?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready to watch these games today. I'm excited to see the two teams. I won't spoil. I'll let you do your thing, you know. I mean, they're in the lobby, so I can just read the screen.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, we're going to be casting Fnatic versus Alliance. Yeah. 3 best of 1s today on the A stream. On the other stream, with Bruno and Lumi, they're going to be casting Team Tinker versus 4ASC.
Yep.
And they're actually currently casting. I think they started a little bit earlier than us. And they're
going to be doing,
yeah. And they're going to be doing 2 best of 1s on their stream of that match, which I really want to watch the Finnish team play. I'm not upset. I get Alliance and Fnatic.
Yeah.
Is it good?
I really like their draft. I mean, I only got to watch the first like 10, 15 minutes. It seemed quite even, so I'm not really sure what happened.
Is Jarek's drafting?
Yeah, he was drafting.
Okay. Yeah, and so they're going to do 2 best of 1s over there. Well, actually, this week, because of making sure everyone gets to play each other by the end of the week, we're going to have an extra broadcast day. We'll be back Thursday for the remainder games. That will be 1 Team Tinker versus 4ASC. Yep. And then also the other one will be Alliance versus 4ASC as well.
Well, Alliance actually had to reschedule 2 games.
Yeah.
And they're going to be playing against Alliance twice, and then 4ASC are going to be playing against Team Tinker once, because Team Tinker can't play all 3 games today.
And I'm in a particularly good mood today, Andy.
Are you?
Yes, because I have news for the end of the show about the Dream League.
I hope it doesn't involve a lot of spinning in chairs.
It could do.
That really seems to be your pastime. It's like whenever you're excited, you just have to. I mean, it is quite fun, to be honest.
I notice myself. I'm a very fidgety person. Like, even when we're all stood up still, everyone's kind of stood still, and I'm just like kind of like shaking side to side, like I need a hit or something. I don't know what it is. But yeah, we're here for 3 best of 1s. So we'll get that started. But let's check in on the standings and see exactly how the teams shaping up in the European West Division. We should also note that only 2 teams can qualify from each division to the LAN qualifiers. Which is an interesting concept, LAN qualifiers. LAN qualifiers into LAN.
Standing is updated because Alliance should have 1 loss.
No, I actually think they get to replay it. I'm not sure.
Are they?
I'm not sure.
Because I could have sworn they said on the other thing that they actually got 1 loss.
You know what? I'll find out on Reddit.
We will find out, yes.
But yeah, Team Tinker did take 2 wins, and then they forfeited 1 game. They actually had to go play the Summit yesterday, played a game versus a team that they probably weren't meant to lose to, said they were tired, lost that game, and decided, nope, we're not playing. And then they even had to play more games last night afterwards in other leagues, and they ended up using like 2 stand-ins as Sing Sing went to bed. So yesterday, they still got their 2 wins. They dropped a game, though, that was to Fnatic, and you can see their Fnatic, are going to be 1 and 2. And look at that, Andy. on point and production changing it. Alliance did forfeit one game yesterday because they had to reschedule. Unfortunately, they were at Star Ladder, said they could play, couldn't turn up, so they got a point lost. And, you know, hopefully that doesn't hurt them if you're an Alliance fan.
I think
if you hate Alliance...
Does anybody really hate any team? I mean, really, like as a Dota fan, do you go into a game and be like, oh man, I can't stand this team, you know? So, I don't know. I feel like this group this is probably the worst group in my opinion to actually get like a loss like that, because there are actually like every team could potentially come out of the group. You know, if you have one bad day.
Yeah, 4ASC have made this group really interesting based off the qualifiers being Team Secret. But you know, with Team Secret, who knows if they wanted to qualify or didn't? You know, it's a mystery.
I could see them being that team, just like whatever.
Yeah,
we don't have to qualify. And I mean, there is a lot of stuff going on, to be fair.
Who knows? Yeah, but we have news about the Dream League at the end of the day. Hopefully, it'll be fun to announce. And but otherwise, let's ignore that and talk about Dota. That's why we're here. It's Fnatic versus Alliance. Game 1.
Fnatic's turn to ban.
Interesting to see Fnatic prioritizing the Batrider so highly. I mean, that's just like a tip to Bulldog, right? Like, Bulldog, I would say as far as Batrider was like the best on Alliance, and the Bulldog, obviously being the only other Batrider player, has to be second best, right?
Yeah.
So I understand
10 seconds
that. But
remaining.
it's just not something we tend to see that much.
But are we going to see Admiral Bulldog
5 seconds
more
remaining.
in the mid lane as well, and 8 on the off lane?
They kind of switch it around, I think, depending on what heroes
Reserve
they play.
time.
And I also think that Bulldog is just such a good offlaner that you kind of want to put him there. Because if it makes sense to say that he's such a good offlaner that it's better to have him in his preferred role than making him a little bit worse in something else. And he's even openly said, I think, during like a Star Ladder interview or something like that, that there are some heroes that he just doesn't like to play. Like Death Prophet, for example, who is very predominant right now. A lot of teams going as far as to like first ban. So, and I mean, speaking of, the hero gets through. So do Fnatic want to go Death Ball? The choices are pretty open, actually, in terms of what supports or what strategy you want to go here.
Many options. Some would say around 90 for the first pick of Fnatic.
Actually, I think it's still over 100, isn't it? How many heroes are actually not in the game?
I don't know.
I want to say there's like 4 or 5 that aren't actually in.
Alliance's turn to
Yeah, a Rubick first pick is really...
Slog.
I don't want to say lackluster, but that's really the first word that comes to mind. And look at what Alliance get for a first pick Rubick. I have to think that Hani has a plan. Like, there's no way that you first pick...
His plan is that the telekinesis gets dark packed off, and then the Rubick dies, and then you feed the Slark until you come back and kill him and get all the gold.
Well, the comeback mechanic is real, okay? I'm just going to say that after winning like 2 or 3 fights, a puck goes from 0 gold to a full hex. You know, I mean, stuff like that can happen. But the reason why I said he has to have a plan is because he has to see all those high-tier heroes are available. And of everything,
he picks a Rubick.
He picks Rubick.
Yeah.
So
maybe
he's got to have something.
Because he has no plan. I like the Magnus, though.
Yeah, thanks, awesome. I think that he's
really good versus Slark as well. That hero is particularly squishy, even in the later stages of the game. It's not like he has amazing stat gain on like strength, etc. And even armor, he's pretty low on, if I can recall. But
you want AOE too. Like Skewer and Shockwave neither require a ground target. Obviously, you can still cleave stuff, even if he's in his Shadow Dance or whatever the heck it's called. And then you can RPM as well. I think it is
Shadow Dance. You are correct.
That was a shot in the dark, man. I was like, I think it's Shadow Dance, but I couldn't remember the name. And I'm too proud to actually hover over the ability icons.
I hover over abilities all the time, Andy.
Yeah. And they're actually going to take out the AM, which I think is actually a bit of showing respect to Fnatic, because a lot of people would be willing to take the AM and just say, okay, we'll end the game in like 20 to 25 minutes. You know, like we're just not going to let your AM actually get off the ground. But to openly say, we don't want to have to deal with the potential of going like 30+ minutes with Empower and an AM, I think that's actually...
very valid.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a respect ban, I think. But taking out the Skywrath and the Doom together, obviously that makes Rubick's life a hell of a lot easier. He already has a Slark and a Brewmaster to deal with, and positioning as that hero against anything with mobility is already a nightmare as is. But you also have to worry about the Magnus, so I think in a way that starting with those opening 2, they kind of complement each other. Both have the opportunity to make big plays, like Rubick can steal split, even stealing, you know, Slark abilities can be strong.
You know what I like here for Fnatic, if they could get a carry? I don't know if it will be very good, because you might have to play the Magnus elsewhere, but I wouldn't think you would, is Morphling.
Yeah, I could see Morph. Morph is actually very hard to straight up kill.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like with Slark, it's like if you go on the Morph of the Slark, it doesn't mean anything. You know, it's like you can still waveform away out of that, can't you?
Yes.
It's like it doesn't hold you in place. One of the few abilities that actually.
Well, it's actually a blink as opposed to a leap, which doesn't
destroy.
You don't destroy it.
Yeah. And also the Brewmaster doesn't necessarily burst down the Morphling by any means with strength gain. And the Morphling, you know, if it gets additional damage from the Empower.
And he's all base damage.
And he's all base damage. That's huge damage, right? So Morphling could be a fun pickup for Fnatic. You know, me casting pro games is still a novelty, so I by no means call the shots around here. But yeah.
Well, it's not a bad idea. But the thing with like just casting drafts in general is that pretty much all we can do is theorize what would be good.
Yeah. Unless you sit in the team, like, and you've practiced with the team, I really don't think you know exactly how they actually, you know, looking to face off against each other, because these guys know each other very well, and they know each other not even on like a team level, it's the individual level. It's like you know what hand he plays and you know what you want to lock out, and you know there's so many factors into this. I'm going to see a Witch Doctor, and we had one of those yesterday actually. Bulba played it and he did awesome for Team Tinker. He ended up with like an Ags and out farming some of the cores, and then just went ham, and they had a hard time shutting him down, but we'll see.
The one thing about Witch Doctor is, in this lineup, I like him particularly because you already have two very high impact heroes like Slark and Brew, who not only,
a lot of room.
Yeah, and they also are frontliners, more or less. Like Slark has to build stats because he's a frontliner, and then Witch Doctor has plenty of space to Death Ward and things like that. But alternatively, you also have to keep in mind that Death Ward is a very easy spell to steal. I mean, you start channeling it as long as the Rubick is anywhere in the vicinity.
If your Rubick's alive, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one concern that you're going to have, is trying to keep him.
It's like, when that fight starts and the Death Ward goes down, is there an option of going back in? I guess with a Timbersaw, that's one of the better options you have, because you will be able to put out a huge amount of damage, even on the Slark. But yeah, the Rubick will still have a tough time, like, stealing one of the easiest spells, probably the easiest spell to steal in the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's a channeled ulti. But, you know, is Brewmaster and Slark going to allow you to even channel it yourself if you get it, or leave the fight alive to use it another time? I don't think so. And I really have come to be disapproving of Rubick. He was like my favorite child, you know what I mean? Like, I would pick him, take him to school, buy him things he would like, you know.
Get him ice cream.
Rubick's one of those people that, you know, I can imagine that you would want to, like, buy him a magnifying glass and he'd, like, kill ants. You know, he turned into that kind of child.
No, he would turn into an ant.
No.
Like, he would see the ants and be like, I want to see what this is like. And then he would be the ant.
I don't know. I think Rubick's just, he's disappointed me. And I haven't seen anyone play him in an awesome way as of late. And I find him very hard to kind of fit into the current meta of the team fights, because he just offers so little apart from a spell still.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement. Like, the hero as a single-handed support is very weak. Compared to what most people are picking nowadays. Even heroes like Witch Doctor and Earthshaker give you a lot in terms of, like, Earthshaker is great defensively, Fissure is ridiculously long range. Later on in the game, he becomes an initiator for your team, or counter-initiator, depending on what you need. Witch Doctor transitions into like a semi-carry if you get an Aghanims and a BKB, so... I don't actually know, like, if Rubick really needs any changes, though, because if you give him even a little bit, I feel like he would borderline be too good.
No, you know what you need to do? You know, telekinesis?
Yeah.
You need to make it be able to throw people in 3 different points, and then it's just like a giant hand that slams them. So you can pick someone up, and then you can, like, ding 3 points around your pickup, and then it slams that hero 3 times, and it stuns everything it slams, and it does damage.
That would be kind of insane.
That would be sick.
If he had a double nuke and he had spell steal and it was a stun, I don't know, man, that would be, like, kind of insane, don't you think?
Tiny bit of damage, like 1 damage.
Well, I mean, when they nerf Fable damage, that's why the hero stopped going mid.
But imagine if, like, Rubick actually got to slam people. That'd be really funny.
Yeah, it would be cool. Like,
even if it did no damage.
Like the Green Lantern style kind of thing, right? Yeah, okay.
Even if it was no damage, it'd be way cooler than its current fucking shitty ability. No offense, Ice Frog, you suck at developing video games.
Wow, rude.
Yeah.
Can't believe you went there. That's okay, I've cursed him a
few
few times.
And you owe me money.
I cursed him when I play RNG heroes. Like, I play PA and attack like 40 times and don't get a crit and then I die. So I understand your frustration, but...
Fine. It's just, He was one of my favorite, and he's gone. All right, so let's get back to the draft and less about redesigning Rubick's telekinesis to be very Green Lantern-esque, which is still cool. Yeah. So.
If you're Fnatic right now, you need to know this support. You're potentially taking the mag mid, I'm guessing, because Arise plays mag pretty much. That's his hero. And they're going to pick up a Lion. So a lot of control on the side of Fnatic. And with the Lion hitting level 6, that gives you a nice additive burst, whereas now, between Timber and Lion, even just adding 1 or 2 more nukes in, you can probably burst, I think, anyone on the side of Alliance, like between Finger, a Timber, and mag. So.
Really depends if it's Lion or Rubick are going to be able to be mobile as well for this game. Like, Blink Dagger on Lion is huge. You know, Blink Dagger on Rubick is a huge plus, but it's kind of like it's not really an initiation or a kill. It's like it's cheeky. It's a counter initiation. It is, you know, it's picking up that telekinesis at the perfect moment where, you know, it changes the fight around, which is incredibly subtle to be able to do. But Lion with a blink actually makes that hero and what Fnatic can do incredibly dangerous to go along with their Magnus and also the follow-up damage that the Timber Sword brings. But if they don't get that Lion or these supports rolling, it's going to be very hard for their supports to kind of keep up with the Witch Doctor and Earthshaker.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is to see the last picks, as neither team has really picked a hard carry. You could say that Slark might be safe lane farming this, and that Brewmaster could be mid. So potentially for Alliance, it could be the offlaner too. But for Fnatic, they're definitely saving their carry until last, and that's reflected by Alliance's bans. I mean, they take out AM, PA, and Spectre. So they clearly don't want to have to deal with the cleave mechanic here. And Alliance are actually going to go the route of Zeus, which that's a really, really high damage hero.
That's Admiral Bulldog Slark then.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I think he's played that a few times.
Well, wait, no, he plays Brew too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember who was playing Slark and got the Blink Dagger a lot originally. It was Admiral Bulldog.
Well, Loda played Slark. Loda was the one who started getting Blink a lot.
Okay.
And then people were like, hey, this is actually pretty good. So it could be Bulldog Brew. It could also be...
Yeah.
Because I don't think Loda plays Brew, does he? I don't know, we'll see.
Loda's probably played everything.
Well, I'm assuming he's played the hero, but I'm asking, like, has he played enough to feel comfortable? And we're going to find out here in just a second as Fnatic end things off with Ember now. Interestingly enough,
that's nice versus Zeus because you can chase him.
Yeah, but
as long as
you break the shield with one bolt and an arc.
And then when you break the shield, it doesn't continue to do damage.
Right.
So you lose so much damage if you just lose your shield. So we'll see. Hanny's got a lot to do on the Ember Spirit. I would still favor Alliance in this.
I think their early game is very strong. Yeah. I think that's where Alliance can kind of get a really big lead. But later into the game, when you...
The damage output from Ember and Timber and Magnus initiate is way more potent than I think the Earthshaker's initiation. And I think the Slark will have a hard time if they fall behind.
Wait, is this an offlane Zeus?
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's offlane Zeus. Okay, so they're not sending him mid. 8 Mother's going to play Brew. I guess Bulldog did not want to play the Brew. And offlane Zeus against these types of supports, it's actually kind of a good thing because you're really inclined to want to try to roam and get more out of your laning phase when you have double stun. You know, you have a couple of nukes from Crit and Rise, and you want to try to gank something. But now, if you have the Zeus sitting there, he's going to be able to get quite a bit of experience, and since safe lane farmer isn't really, like, I guess it's going to be Ember, and then it's going to be Magnus mid. It's not that scary, really, for Zeus, especially considering arc range is absolutely massive. So we'll see how well they're able to zone out Bulldog here. And the nice thing about playing Zeus...
The best thing they can do is just de-ward that obvious ward point for Zeus. It's like, if you don't have that ward as in your Zeus, you're not having this
can't get anything.
Like, you're getting nothing. So Crit is actually wearing boots on his Rubick, surprising. No boots on the Lion, so I'm not sure. They're not bringing sentries, but I don't think they expected this as well. But they must have seen that Admiral Bulldog picked up the Zeus, so I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. But we can already see the lanes.
They don't have sentries anyway, so they're not going to be dewarding or anything like that. They could just be confident in the fact that they can keep the Zeus at bay, even if he has boots or whatever. It shouldn't really be that big of a problem for them. The bigger concern is Fnatic actually getting their supports a couple of levels. You're going to have to be pretty diligent about pulling and doing all sorts of stuff like that just to make sure that you stay relevant. Because I feel like Alliance's supports, they're not really going to have I mean, they can gank, actually. Like, you can kill a mag, it's going to be tough, but you can do it. Whereas I feel like the Brew is, like, almost unkillable with the supports that they have.
Yeah. But also, to actually be able to kill a mag, it really comes down to your Earthshaker. Because you can still skewer over, but you just need to like time everything nicely. And the Earthshaker is the best initiate you've got. And it's really for a Rise to go overly aggressive in the mid lane, and then the rotations come in unnoticed. But the good thing about the rotations of the Alliance supports is you probably won't necessarily see them that much, because they don't need, they can be pulling jungle a lot. You know, so they can be greedy in that way. And I think that Fnatic, even though they can, those supports want to zone out the Zeus and want to rotate more, because that's kind of what Lion and an instant lift can do. You know, instant hex, instant lift. Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
I like the fact that Bulldog is playing it like, he's very proactive right now about what he can get, because he realizes that there's going to be pulls. And all he has to do really is... He can stand on the river, actually.
He's got an Earthshaker backing him up, dude. It's not even just an off-lane Zeus. It's Misery is there. He's like, hey, if anyone jumps you, I will fissure. You know, I did this in a pub game, and the guy mid told me off. And I was like, you're an idiot. I was like, I need to be here, otherwise you die. And then I left, and then I got killed. Yeah.
Misery securing some creep kills there with the Fissure. But this does mean that the Timber is going to have a heck of an easy time. Like, Timber versus Slark, the Timber is going to be able to lane bully the Slark in terms of just sheer damage. The best thing you can do is just try to trade when you know that he doesn't have, like, Whirling Death off cooldown and stuff like that, and just try to, you know, force him back. But just a solo Witch Doctor isn't super menacing, you know. It's not like Veno or any super good lane support where you can't trade at all. So A shouldn't be suffering too much. And he actually gets the bounty, yeah.
Oh. He's got it.
But even just like 2 points into your active, 1 Timber Chain, and you're good to go. There's no way you can die. Unless you like really overplay.
I feel quite comfortable with knowing that the Earthshaker's rotating if I was the Timber. As long as it's not a Wisp in the lane, that really messes you up as a Timber still.
I've heard, man. I've heard. But as like with another hero, like Wisp is a terror. Very much so. Nice Fissure here just to kind of be annoying, I guess. I mean, they have full vision, and sentries have been purchased here from Fnatic. He's actually checking the spot that doesn't block the camp, and neither one of these ward spots block it, so it's actually quite annoying to deward.
They're going to get it? Oh, are they? No!
Oh my god, that placement.
You know, like, that placement's really good for 2 reasons as well, because the camp below, you can actually see the creeps that get pulled into it. And so you can actually just have enough vision to see into the camp.
And it doesn't block the camp, so it's not obvious as to where it is.
There you go. That's where the ward, kids.
That's why Bulldog offlanes.
Because he knows where to place wards.
You'd be surprised how many people don't know where to place wards, man. Like, people think that's common knowledge. It's not.
How are we doing on levels, by the way, with the cores? Because one of the cores is sharing a lot. Actually, no, Ember's on level 4, and Slark's actually only level 3. Timber, level 3 as well. And he's doing well on the last hits, as you would expect with that kind of animation. And Bulldog, would you still go for a bottle in this situation? Like just an off-lane bottle and try and control the rune?
I think bottle's nice, because these supports really are focusing more on like pulls and anything else.
Gold.
Yeah, like having Arc to contest is like free CS. Even getting Soul Ring bottle I don't think is too far-fetched, or Arcane's bottle. You don't really need... Well, Zeus is maybe one of the heroes in the game who you could actually get Arcanes and Soul Ring on, and Bottle, and still say that it's okay, just because of how his animation is terrible and you want to see us with Arc, but could be overkill.
Yeah, he's going to head towards that Invis rune. He'll be able to pick that up.
I don't think so.
Get some deny experience as well. And if you still have the Earthshaker, Misery up top, just hanging out. How's 8 Mother mid, 20 and 1 versus the 21 and 3 Magnus, so... Not at all struggling. I think he might have sent back a bottle since he hasn't really moved away from the lane at all. He's sent back a bottle with 1 charge. So he's been very just persistent in standing here, and Ace is going to rotate with this Invis. He's got 2 points into Timber Chain, so could get this started off in a nice way. They don't have RP yet, and they won't have it off this creep wave, so the next creep wave maybe. And this is going very aggressive. And they hit the skewer, but they missed the Timber Chain, and 8 Mother will probably be able to get away from here. And now the rotation's coming in. There is Brewmaster split available. Ace going to have to Timber Chain once again to get away. Magnus is already belled towards the top, and I think he should be okay. I don't think they're going to use a split. We've got a Witch Doctor, Aki. He's going for a cast, and yeah, he should be able to get out of here. Even 2 points in Timber Chain's enough. And
he's
8
chasing
Mother,
so far.
Yeah, I wouldn't chase this anymore, but... Felt gank, but also a lot of time wasted there.
Yeah, what, 2 or 3 people chased him? I mean, heck, Misery ran all the way from top lane. So.
Yeah, he's mid there as well.
I wonder if Loda's actually just going to go, yep, okay, tread straight into Blink. I was curious about what his item progression would actually be, but he decided to go for the de facto, I want to have some kind of impact here. Going to throw a cast on Ace, but not going to follow it up. And the smoke coming in from behind Bulldog top lane, it's actually going to be quite easy to get this kill. He doesn't even have mana, so he can't break the flame field or anything like that. First blood going the way of Fnatic. Hani nicely times the last hit. And that is something that you really don't want to give away, especially to a team that I would even say has potentially equal, if not better, late game. Oh, Loda. Stewer going to miss from Arise. He does land the RP. The Dark Pack's still off cooldown, and teleport to tier 2 crit secures the kill with a Fade Bolt.
2 points into Fade Bolt, just level 3 Rubick, so not high on the levels, but that damage output is really nice, scaling from level 1 to level 2 on Fade Bolt. So, yeah, nicely done. Fnatic, good smoke top. Hani now can play a little bit more aggressive as he is going to hold Admiral Bulldog in place, and a nice pickup. This is a very, we said the Earthshaker was there for a reason. And had the Earthshaker been there, that would have, he would have survived that at least second gank. And now actually Loda's going to rotate up. And I wonder if it's going to take Admiral Bulldog towards the bottom lane when he respawns. And I think he actually died twice pretty quickly, so he's going to have to run to his lanes as opposed to TP out. But they have someone in each lane farming. And down bottom they have the Witch Doctor, which is never bad, letting the Witch Doctor get a little bit of solo XP and gold.
Just getting Death Ward in itself is really helpful because it makes you a threat that needs to be addressed in a fight other than, oh, we can just ignore him. He's just a cast bot, more or less. Going to see a leap onto Hani here. Doesn't have enough mana to actually go to his Remnant, but he still should have at least thrown one out before he died. Yeah, just so you can go right back to lane. Yeah,
the lane ward's gone there as well now for Alliance, and also the ward in the jungle has gone. Actually, no, they put up a new ward, actually.
Middle lane. Lift on 8 Mother. He's going to get skewered into the tower. Really nice coordination, forcing out the split. But I think Crit might actually be dying because of this. Bolt from the low ground. Admiral Bulldog secures that kill. Gets level 5 off of it. Misery coming in. Going to throw it a fissure onto Arise. More teleport reaction coming in. It's going to be Hani. Arise going to be dropping to the enchant totem of Misery. Now Hani looking for something here. He wants to find Misery in the woods. No TP on him. And he should be dying here pretty easily. It's 3 points in a Flame Guard, and Hani will get another kill.
Yeah. They've obviously watched the YouTube video of Notal and S4. I think it was, playing the Rubick and Magnus.
That's a pretty sick combo, though.
You pick them up, you can throw them back, and then you can preemptively skewer because you know when it's going to land, and you always pull them back to the tower. So
the funny part is that you don't actually have to be in front of the Magnus. Like, if you're on his hitbox, you still go, no matter what. It's pretty weird.
Down bottom, he's going to pick up a kill here on Ake with Ace, and just one more swing from the Timber will pick it up, but 8 Mother comes in. He's got haste, so Crit is not longed for this world at the moment, and I think Ace again will be able to get away. There is a rotation coming down from his teammates, and that's actually going to be Hani, so 8 Mother has to be very careful how far he's going to dive. His haste still going to be sat there for long, but he's not going to be able to use it when he's chained, and the Timber chain didn't come in. And 8 Mother will be able to run away. He's got one more bottle charge to heal back up. So could have been a turn kill onto 8 Mother. He's going to be happy that that didn't happen. I'm pretty sure that even as a new member to the Alliance team, he's going to have good and average games. I don't think you can say 8 Mother has bad games, but certainly if you're wanting to join a team and feel that you're contributing, you want constantly good games. And he's going to be happy that that wasn't a return kill.
Yeah, I mean, if the Timber Chain had landed, maybe a different story that we're looking at there from Ace, because I'm pretty sure it was level 4.
Sorry?
I think his Timber Chain was level 4, so it would have killed him pretty much. But, I mean, Bulldog.
He's dead again.
Yeah,
he can't do anything about this. Like, he's got no help. Goodbye, Bulldog. What is he now, like 0-3? 1-3? Yeah, he's 1-3.
Yeah, 1-3. I mean, he's level 6.5. So in a way, I feel like the Zeus doesn't necessarily need core items per se if he's playing with the team, because all he's needed is his damage output, more or less. Like, you want to go in, throw out an ulti, bolt somebody, and then Hani's Flame Guard is down, suddenly he feels a lot less threatening in the fight, and he can't stay.
Yeah, but you also don't want to feed Hani.
No, I'm not saying it's good that he's dying.
Yeah. But, like, Hani's a problem. Like if Hani gets damaged, it's like the supports, they can definitely fall behind, and they are going to get a kill on Ace bottom. Sorry, we missed that moment ago. They committed free. They have level 6 on Admiral Bulldog on his Zeus as well. He'll probably just sit down in this lane, and the support's already now rotating from Alliance, and they don't have a smoke on him. Nope. Soul Ring on Misery. Regen will be up for 8 Mother. And
Loda's going
is going to be
minus.
available.
Very interesting. Deciding to go for the late game oriented item, especially when you have like Zeus mid game, Brewmaster mid game. The damage output of your team is insanely high. So either he's extremely confident that not having a blink is okay, or he just wants to play for more money, I guess.
I think it's also like if Admiral Bulldog and the Brewmaster sorry, I forgot his name, Eight Mother, actually like weather the storm mid game, then he can scale much better in the late game, even past the Ember. So it's an interesting, as you said, it takes some confidence knowing that that's how the game's going to go, and most of the time Alliance are correct.
Well, Rise is level 6 on the side of Fnatic, and that means Finger of Death can secure a very, very quick kill. Even on a hero like Slark, who has around 900 HP, they're going to be scouting out their own woods here.
Yeah, they
Rise,
saw the
teleporting
ward.
out, actually decides to go top.
And Crit just dinged the ward that they saw him on as well.
Yeah.
So everyone's going to back off here. So we've got 4 people from Alliance on the bottom lane. And we only have 8 Mother currently farming mid, and top tower will start getting pushed in now. And 8 Mother's going to rotate. He has a regen available.
He cancelled it.
He cancelled, yeah.
I think that's the right call too, because you don't actually know what you're TPing into.
Yeah, they didn't see the supports actually rotate back out of their jungle. So there was Rise actually TP'd up top as well. So yeah, 8 Mother had a regen, so he's able to fight, but he's not with his team and he's not farming anything currently. He's just looking for this top tower to maybe slow some of the pressure. And on the bottom tower, we have Slark, Loader, just putting down some pressure of his own, but he's just going to back off. Midas complete, being used once. And Alliance are dinging out, I think it was Rise, rotating through the jungle. Yeah, it was, with that ward. So they are aware of this. Let's see if they can make something happen. Brew Split's available, but DD on Hani.
Yeah, 8 Mother has a blink too, which, I mean, if he wants to start a fight, he can. I think it would be ideal to go now because they know that Arise doesn't have a blink. Like, they have a high ground ward mid, they just saw him. They know that he's probably close, but...
But Hani has a TP, right? And they must have seen that. I mean,
yeah.
Like, I would be scared even if you go for a kill. But
I think they can get a kill quick enough, though. I mean, between Death Ward, having Misery with Echo, a Blink Clap initiation with Split, I mean, the only hero that really has to commit to the fight is 8 Mother.
Yeah, that's one of the things that actually I think people, or at least I don't think about with Death Ward. It's like, I think of it as a big team fight ultimate, but actually it's a ganking ability.
Yeah.
Because if you just hit one, fissure and you throw down a Death Ward, chances are you've done like the majority of the damage needed. A core can actually just pick up the kill nice and easy. So yeah, you're right. It's like they can actually kill people very fast with the Witch Doctor. And so, but they're not able to secure themselves a kill. Everything's a little bit slow here. Taking it nice and easy.
It's very even, too, in terms of like golden experience. There's not much of a discrepancy at all between the two teams. But in a way, I mean, I feel like Alliance are the ones who want to really be pressuring right now. A late game Slark is definitely good. It's just that the rest of the team is not going to be able to stand up to it in Powered Ember. It's just like that inevitability of, okay, the damage that he's doing is way too much, and he never has to really be in a fight.
Oh, ace. That broke smoke, I think. Were they smoked?
I don't think
they were.
Actually.
There's a cooldown on their smoke.
Yeah, okay,
they broke smoke, and they're actually going to find Ace, and Misery was like, okay, I think my smoke broke. Either it broke or it ran out, and...
No, Ake was still smoked when he died, so yeah, it definitely did break.
Okay. So they find themselves Ace, and Alliance secure a kill. And now, very dangerously, Alliance will be able to take a fight under the tower with Rouge Split. So Arise are going to have to be very careful. Gets fissured out. 8 Mother's going to come in, going to skewer him back, and the cast will come with him. And 8 Mother doesn't want to use his split just yet, and he's just going to get lifted up. He doesn't have the ability to blink anymore, and the rotations need to come in. Hani needs to join this fight. I don't think they realize how dangerous this could be, but I think Fnatic might just be looking to shake this one off. No, they're going to come back in, clap into Split, and their Chaser Rise here, blink away. No rotations coming in from Hani. Ace will be back here, and I really want to see Hani in this fight. Like, you can still go through this. With Brewmaster split down, even with Death Ward, you can punish as an Ember. Even though he hasn't finished his Battle Fury, I think he's got a Claymore to his name. Yeah, but he hasn't got it on.
He actually almost has it. He's only around 1,000 away.
But nicely done. Nicely done from Alliance, and they're going to strike after the kill and claim 2. That was Ace and also the Rubick.
Yeah, but the thing that's really bizarre is Fnatic don't really, like, defending towers is good, for sure, for Fnatic. I'm not saying you want to let your towers drop, but there seemed to be some kind of breakdown in communication as to how they wanted to go about it. Because Arise was there sitting, like, waiting after Ace died, and then the rest of the reactions were very slow. Like, they almost didn't feel like they could fight, whereas I feel like they can. Their team fight is actually immensely strong.
Like 9.
Maybe after Arise was forced to RP that they didn't want to try to do anything anymore.
I'm not sure what they're going to be able to do mid as well with no RP versus this Slark.
Man, Crit's still not even level 6.
Yeah, I tell you, man. Rubick
It's so
gets
hard.
slow at XP game because he's ultra shit.
Well, I mean, Rise is level 7, which is, I guess, respectable, because Ake and him are pretty much dead even in terms of experience, but you can't not be level 6 right now when RP is up and the Slark ulti is up and Echo is up. There's so many good spells to steal. Like, having a Fissure, even in itself, is amazing in this game, especially against melee cores like Slark and Brew.
Even stealing something from Zeus, any spell is actually good.
Yeah.
Because even if you just steal Arc, you can just, or Chain Lightning, whatever.
I mean, if you actually manage to steal Shadow Dance, you know how awesome that is? You never have to go back to base.
Oh yeah, because the passive would just work.
Yeah. And you can just buy Arcanes and then you're good to go, man.
Okay, well, let's see what 8 Mother's able to do down here. They are going to glyph and force out some TP rotations. Loader comes in, doesn't want to pounce. Actually had pounce on cooldown, and the Bulldog going to come in and get rid of the Flame Guard, and that's just going to send Hani back. And Hani is the big factor here for Fnatic. Like, when Hani gets involved in the next team fight, he has to survive, and he has to make something good happen. If he doesn't, I feel like his team's just going to fall over. Like, there's an RP, but you need follow-up. And I think that the damage output from that Zeus, from Admiral Bulldog, will be maybe too much for the supports to handle with the fissures coming in. And, well, okay, Crit's going to steal Primal Split. 8 Mother will be like, nah, man, nah, totally didn't happen.
How did he not use the spell for that long?
I don't know.
Like, he had to have stolen the split that was used at the tier 2 bottom, right?
It's unbelievable.
Like, how have you not used a spell?
The game's so even. If you give away a spell like that and he uses it in the team fight and you lose the team fight because of it, you're kidding yourself. Okay, well, not necessarily means anything bad is going to happen to Alliance, but I'm not sure 8 Mother even knows he gave away that spell.
No, he has to know.
So long ago.
He has to know. Like, as soon as you get it stolen, you know what you did last. Like, I would be very, very shocked if he didn't notice
He's worried about communication.
He's going to get the pounce out of Hani here. Fissure comes in. There's the bolt. Counter RP coming in from Arise. Only hits at 1, but the Skewer gets both. Misery and Bulldog going straight under the tower here. Very nicely played by Arise. And maybe a little bit of jumping the gun there, actually, by Bulldog, blinking in like that. He didn't have to blink that far. Certainly not.
Very unfortunate for Misery to get skewered in as well. I think he was coming in to try.
He was coming into Echo to make sure that they could get the kill on Hani, but he wanted to like Echo right next to the Fissure to make sure that the stun, like the aftershock stun still hit, but he just got skewered.
Is that offlane Zeus?
It was offlane Zeus. He died a lot. And then he just died again, too. 8 Mother goes in with the clap. Here comes the split. Rise. Going to eat the boulder toss. Probably going to be dropping here, getting chased down by the remainder of the 2 spirits. Zeus ulti comes out to secure the kill on him.
Yep. And the Magnus gets away.
Yeah.
He skewered into Blink, into the tree line. And even though they got vision of him with ulti, they weren't able to get the Fissure on time. So, how long's the Rubick still got split for? Come on. We got to see this.
Another minute and a half, 2 minutes.
So, it's tier 1, tower defense top for Fnatic, and this Brewmaster split is going to change everything.
Yeah, the funny part is Alliance don't have split.
Yep.
But Fnatic do.
And they will have RP soon as well. I think like, what, 20 seconds or something?
Yeah, it's not too long of a cooldown. Blink clap. Hani going to go to his remnant here. Rise looking for a skewer. Going to be a bit off the mark on 8 Mother. And Crit is smoked up actually behind here.
Well, I don't know why they didn't just telekinesis with Crit and then actually skewer that way.
I don't think he was close enough at the time.
Yeah.
I think he was assuming that Alliance would back, and that if he didn't go then, there would be an opportunity.
Maybe because he was smoked. Arise was like, I can't see you. I didn't know you were there. You were invisible.
That is a possibility, I guess. Why not? What is Loda buying? Did he go back for... Yeah, he did go back for Blink. Okay, cool. I was going to say, going straight Scotty after Minus would be a little bit awkward. Because, I mean, to kill Hani, you need at minimum double Blink. Like, ideally, you have 3, right? 1 on Misery as well, to make sure that when you open on him, he dies. Because if he doesn't die and he's able to go to his remnant and Arise gets an RP, even though the RP top was only on 1, this one's actually going to connect on 2. Loda and Ake going straight into tower range into a double impale coming out from Rise. Loda going to be able to retreat off the back of Misery's Fissure.
They get incredibly little for that. Brewmaster split and RPUs and they get Ake. And Loda gets away under Shadow
Ace
Dance.
gets a tier 1. So it's no big deal. Like, they just lost a tier 1 safe lane for that. Like, Alliance immediately just saw mid and they were like, okay, well, we want to make sure that we're here for this. And Fnatic deny their own tier 1. So I would actually say that...
Now they get a lot for it, Andy. I've changed my mind completely.
It wasn't
a full 180.
It wasn't amazing, but it was good.
Let me show you what 180 looks like, Andy.
But now you can't see your screen.
Oh.
And they can't see us, so they don't know what you just did.
Well, I have a spinny chair, and I'm using it to its full effect. Are you concerned for Alliance?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, again, the factor of the empowered Ember is really something that you can never overlook, just because of how good Sleight of Fist scales with it. And because Arise now is level 11, he's going to start putting more points into it. And once it gets to like level 30 and 4, you're just going to have an insane amount of damage. And because of Brewmaster split, that split will die in like 2 Sleight of Fists late game. Especially the Fire and the Wind Spirits, because they don't really have any HP. And if you don't have those spirits out, it's really bad. But they're going to try to go here on Hani. Here comes the Fidget from Long. He's so dead. That's the kind of Blink initiation that you want, right? You want the immediate follow-up. The Earthshaker sets it up very, very nicely, because you can almost fissure from Fog at nighttime. So, and they didn't have a lane ward or anything like that up, which is also another nice thing about Zeus off lane, is dewarding is crazy easy and free.
Hey, having a Slark as well is really good for dewarding.
Yeah, it's like between the two of them, you know where every ward is.
And you can deward without actually bringing sentries.
Yeah.
You're just like, they have vision here, bring over the Zeus.
But ASUS has kind of been playing his own game down here, to be totally honest. Like, he's been more or less left alone. Doesn't see any of these CPs, needs to be careful. He's going to get clapped here by 8 Mother, maybe a bit too soon. Throws back a Chakram. The Split actually committed to this as well. Fissure into the Boulder Toss. Crit sitting back here looking for something to steal. They're even going to echo him.
That's fine. That's worth it.
I thought he would suicide, to be honest.
Crit is like stealing everything. He just stole Echo.
Yeah,
Come on, Crit. You have to use this.
He doesn't have Aftershock, so the Echo really only does damage. And Rise goes in, gets a stun on 1.
Finger. Oh,
he almost kills Bulldog. Arise gonna get another RP at 2. Skewers backwards. Sleight of Fist actually secured as the kill onto the Zeus. Now Misery trying to run away from a hasted Arise. Hani on the other hand, he wants to go back in. Rise gets another Impale off. Ake gonna eat a Searing Chains here and drop to Hani, where Misery is getting chunked down by a hasted empowered Arise, and that's gonna be a double for him. So in the end, 3 actually dropping on the side of Alliance. They want to try to pick up Hani here if they can.
I don't think
he does have another Spirit. One more stun comes out. Ground targeted. Dark Pact was not able to break the stun itself. And Fnatic come out ahead.
Yeah, even though you said you were concerned for Alliance, I think that both teams just have a huge amount of burst damage.
Yeah,
and it's very scary. Yeah, it really feels that way, because it's like if you get a good RP, which isn't like one of the hardest spells to get a good RP off, it's like you can follow up with Ace. You can follow up with your Lion. And even Ember is scaling fantastically. I'd be interested to see how well Loader kind of scales. I really want Loader to kind of pick up a little bit of survivability, so he can actually be like, yeah, if you want to RP me, I'm still going to be okay, because once the fissure comes in and your RP's over, I'm just going to go ham with my Skadi, etc.
Look at that lightning bolt. So cool.
Scary.
But yeah, I agree. He is going for the Skadi too, so I mean, he'll get that tankiness.
Great. Yeah, because after he gets tanky, I think the Ember suffers in that one-on-one straight up. Like, if you're not stunning and killing the Slark, you're not killing the Slark.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Ember in a 1v1 fight, Slark will just scale so much better. The more time the Slark has in these team fights, I think the better it's going to work out for Alliance. And I kind of see this game still going in Alliance's favor just based off Loader's Slark. What do you think?
I think it is a bit more even than maybe I have it in my head, because I just feel like Ember is one of those heroes that if played not super defensively, but in a way where you never actually go into the fight yourself, you always have retreat remnants and you always are just spamming, spam, spam, spam. Let the Timbersaw absorb the damage. We saw how tanky Ace is. If a fight is coordinated properly, if they dump everything onto you, Arise should always be able to get an RP. That's how I feel about it. Because it's not like, if you go in on Loda, for example, you're actually committing your hero to being in a precarious situation. You don't have something to retreat to. You have to use everything to get in, and then you have no backup plan. Whereas Hani can just run, and let the team peel for him.
Yeah, but I also think that you're not actually trying to kill Hani at the start of the fights. You're trying to pick him if you find him. But in team fights, you kill everybody and you kill Hani last, unless you find him.
That's going to be hard late game, though, because his damage output's going to be disgusting late game. Right now, it's possible because he's not at that critical mass where he Daedalus crits somebody.
Shaker with Blink, Zeus ultimate, maybe Ags or Veil later, Witch Doctor, Death Ward. It's like Hani's going to have to play that kind of, lengthy team fight. And
yeah, he's
I think he's going to lose his whole team, and then he's going to be like, "Oh, sorry guys, I didn't crit enough." That's my concern for Fnatic. Is like they're relying a lot on Hani.
Oh, they're going to find a Rise here. Smoke's going to break. Loda's there. Gets a really nicely timed blink pounce off, and a Rise should be pretty dead here. Not going to throw off the RP or anything. Just going to take it like a man. And I do agree that they have the potential to blink and just smash for sure. But I think it's harder for Alliance to do it than it is for Fnatic.
Ryan's picked up his Blink Dagger there. 800 gold on crit on the Rubick. He's played a great game thus far. He's just very poor. Unfortunately, he's been stealing awesome spells, but they haven't really been able to kind of use them very well because he hasn't had that blink either. So I really hope he goes towards that blink because that would be a lot more interesting. And they can actually then play a little bit behind
He may go
Hani.
Force because of the mass stun. I mean,
and you mean Zeus?
No, the Rubick might go Force.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because of Zeus or just?
No, because of the stuns.
Okay, so actually push people away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Blink's still obviously good. It's better for getting the spells, but a Force is better for keeping the team alive. And I think that prioritizing like Hani's life or a Rise over your own is actually what you want to do.
What's that Ake going on the Witch Doctor, by the way? How far is Ake?
He's either going BKB or Ags. I'm assuming Ags. For him, I mean, getting a Death Ward off shouldn't be too difficult.
Alliance are also going to deward their jungle again with Zeus. Take out that ward that was there in the middle. It's with the camp. And as we said, they've got awesome map control with Zeus and also Loda.
Yeah, Fnatic actually only have one ward up right now, and it's the one in top lane.
Look at the wards over for Alliance. They've got one in the jungle, one behind the tier 2 tower middle, and then and they've also got one over the tier 1 tower, which they should be wanting to take a fight. Like whenever you put wards over the tier 1 towers and you have good vision and your opponents don't know, you do something about it. And Animal Bulldog even denies the last ward that they have after I think Loda might have dinged it out. And we have a Blink Dagger on Misery with Soul Ring and Mana Group. So it's getting concerning here. And Hani picks up a Perseverance. Do you do double Battle Fury?
Well, the thing about double Battle Fury and Power is if they are ever stacked, it actually does way more damage than getting a crit.
They can be for the RP.
Yeah, like consistency of damage is better with double Battle Fury for sure. And your farm rate obviously is going to be insane. Because I think with Empower and double Battle Fury, you pretty much one-shot creep waves.
Mother Bonham is going to get jumped on. He's actually going to get bursted down there by Rise. Loda's going to come in. He's going to be picking up Rise pretty quickly. Just going to wand up, but then can't get away. Ace also going to get chased. They hit him with a fissure, looking to chase more. They do have Blinks available soon. Loda's going to have his. Also, Miseries will be coming off cooldown, but they have to be considering that RP and also maybe Hani rotating. But no, Hani is not there. He's just going to be farming off top as they were Alliance pushing in the tier 2 tower top. And here pick up the farm and get closer to whatever item he's going for next. And yeah, they lose the Brewmaster, so that burst damage coming out from the Lion. And I'm pretty sure he's what level is the Lion? He's level 11 yet?
Yeah, he is 11.
Yeah, just level 11, so lots of damage.
4 crits, still on level 9.
Rise cancels his TP. He's going to go all the way back. Doesn't have to use RP either. But that ward is going to do work for him under this tower. They see Ace. They know where the team is, and they even know that people have backed off, and they're actually dinging that there might have been a ward on the high ground, just above Roche, but actually it's directly above Roche. It's not off to the left. And Fnatic have to be very careful how they take this team fight. If this gets, kind of goes bad for them, it's tier 1, it's tier 2. And then the map gets even more dangerous for the team. So I hope they smoke. Yeah, they do smoke. And that's really good to smoke a Rise in this situation because you want to be able to get a good initiate. Tower goes down. Now they're going to chase.
I mean, they want to, but Hani's not here, so I don't know if they can really chase that far. They're going to go on Ace. Arise trying to get in a good position to get a Blink off, but he gets Under God's Wrath right away. Blink's going to be off cooldown. Blink forward from 8 Mother cancels the split. The Coconut, it's bouncing between Rise and Arise both, and unfortunately the poor Lion's not going to be able to live through it.
They can go
Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains.
They might as well pick up somebody.
Yeah, they're going to go for Bulldog. Skewer all the way back near the tier 2. He's actually just going to get pulled all the way in. Echo Slam coming in from Misery, but look at the damage from the Sleight of Fist. Hani almost instantly kills and buyback from Arise. Loda's going to be dropping as well. Crit dies behind the tower to the Primal Split. Now Arise looking for maybe something more. Yeah, he bought back. So if he wants to RP, he definitely can. And they're going to continue to chase 8 Mother here, whose split is just wearing off. Hani misses on the Sleight of Fist, so 8 Mother's going to be able to blink and TP away. Holy cow. Well, I guess that's not RNG, right? Because he didn't get hit for a while.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so RP wasn't used. Really nice Echo Slam coming in from Misery, like, as well as the cast. It kind of felt really unlucky for Arise on his Magnus because he wasn't able to commit. But luckily for them, they actually did get an Empower. It's level 4 Empower on a Hani, and he just went through people.
That was one Battle Fury.
Yeah, one Battle Fury, and he went through people, man. And like Loda, one of the big members of Alliance that you want to take down in this stage of the game, they did. They also took down, I believe, Admiral Bulldog, I'm pretty sure, as they brought him back into the fight. And they maybe actually saved him with the Echo Slam and he walked away. I'm not sure, but it was a 3-for-2 trade, I think, with a buyback.
Yeah, Loda definitely died. Misery died. Bulldog died. Okay. 8 Mother lived, and Ake, I think, also lived. But then Arise had to buy out and didn't end up using his ulti. But now with double Battle Fury on Hani, like, you saw Misery instantly die. Like, he was standing next to somebody, exploded. Now it's going to be even worse.
Like, how do you fight against, like, an Ember in terms of, like, maintaining your health as supports? Is it just, like, good positioning? Is it just you need to kill him?
Yeah, you have to stand ridiculously far away.
Okay. Like, there's no items that you think, like, yeah.
Ghost is okay on paper, but the problem with Ghost is that you actually have to use it for, like, every Sleight of Fist. And unfortunately for you, Sleight of Fist is a 6-second cooldown. Okay. So, I mean, ideally...
Armor just doesn't help, you know, like, getting him
It does, but... I mean, you don't really
against this stage.
You don't want to build armor on Earthshaker and Witch Doctor. You know, you want to make like your initiation items. You want your Ags. You want your BKB. So the best situation possible is to pop him before anything else happens.
Right. Well, we have Alliance smoking as we go into the 30-minute mark of this game. 16-15, and Alliance still looking strong, but there's still that very unknown factor of how much damage will Hani put out in these team fights, and will Arise hit a good RP. The Alliance, they can play very carefully. They're picking up the wards. There is a ward up there from Fnatic, and Fnatic just going to head down to this tier 2 tower. And also, if you're joining us from Stream B, welcome. We're also joined by Lumi and Bruno, who are sat just below watching the games.
They're bums.
Have you got 2 games today? You did one?
One, but they are playing the Summit now.
Okay, and then they've got another game later. So stay with us for the moment. Alliance versus Fnatic, a very even game. And then Bruno and Lumi will be back on their stream shortly with the next game of 4ASC versus Team Tinker.
Yeah, Fnatic actually getting a pretty decent trade here. They might be able to even deny the tier 2 tower. They're going to throw a fissure onto Ace, but committing to a fight where you can't open on Hani, I don't really think is something that Alliance are looking to do. And they should be able to make actually another successful trade. And I mean, for Alliance, I guess trading the towers is okay, even if they deny one, because really you're only doing it for the map control, and you want to make sure that you open up the tier 3. So if you do find the chance to win a fight, you can either get Roshan easily, or you can go and you can push a tier 3. So I think it's still okay to make that trade, but obviously Fnatic are getting to that stage in the game where Hani is, and even Ace, like we haven't talked about him much, but he is huge.
Yep.
BKB, bots, Bloodstone.
He was super greedy. Like, he really sat in that lane and pushed it all the way even to his death. But having that Bloodstone is really nice as well. You know, the respawn time is going to help you, because you know these team fights, people are going to die. We're at the stage of the game, 30 minutes in, there's a lot of items, people are going down. Not sure about the bots, but maybe he could have gone into like a Shivas or something.
Well, he's a really safe deep pusher. I mean, their wave clear basically consists of him and Arise. I guess Hani too, but you really want to make sure that you have somebody on the map who is mobile enough to stop pushes.
It's also worth mentioning that Hani actually does 300 damage when he gets empowered. And if you look at the Slark, the main right clicker, he does 100, just over 100. So it's like, unless Loda is able to stay in the fights and do constant damage, it's like he is going to fall off early on. So it's really up to kind of Misery on the Earthshaker and also Ake and Admiral Bulldog to put out the big damage to start with and try and get Loda to steal some stats and just, you know, be a part of the fights. But there you go, Rise is going to jump in, and nicely done, Dark Pack used there by Loda, and he's just going to back away and he's going to blink over, and Ace is going to chase. Rise is actually coming in here as well. They don't know where Loda is. He's stuck in the tree line, and he's just going to leap out. He's going to walk it off. But when he gets his BKB, that's going to be nice for him. No chance of getting bursted down or controlled by Rise, and he'll be able to stay kind of persistent. Even if he gets RP'd, he should be able to still survive for it with the Skadi. But, like, yeah, when Hani gets crit, that's 300 base damage in terms of what he has overall, plus a crit.
He actually decided to go back for bots, which are very good on Ember in the sense that your mobility is insane. Like, imagine Morphling on steroids, right? Like, you have a replicate out all the time, basically. But instead of actively pushing lanes with it, you just have it sit there and you know you can always go back to it. So I think once, like you said, he gets crit, then things are going to really start to be problematic, because if you're hitting that many targets, like 5, 6, 7, you know, you assume creeps and stuff too, you're going to crit something.
I also think the reason they probably went bots, similar to how the game's being played out, I think they're actually low on smokes, both teams. I'm not sure how many smokes are available, but I think Alliance have been using slightly more than Fnatic, because they've been looking for those picks on Hani but haven't found them, right? So the fact is that they haven't got smokes available to them, and you know, they're not able to get those picks. Hani can play a little bit more greedy, so potentially the bots could pay off, because yeah, Alliance are just farming. You know, and if Alliance are farming, you're farming. You know, if Alliance are fighting, you're defending. You know, Alliance are the ones that kind of, I feel, a little bit forced to make something happen, but I'm also worried about the X factor of kind of Admiral Bulldog picking up his key items. You know, we already have the Aghanims on Ake. And now, yeah, we got Ags on Admiral Bulldog, so the overall damage output, I would really want to see a pipe on, say, the Timber, like Ace. Like I don't. Is pipe a bad option? He's going for Ags.
It's good for the supports, like to keep them healthy, because Kurt right now has less than 800 health, and the Lion only has 900. The one saving grace of their team composition, though, is that since Ace is so farmed, that he is the one who is basically going to be like disruptive in the fights, like walking forward with BKB on, just being like, you have to either deal with me or you run. And that's how the supports on Fnatic actually can stay alive, because they have that kind of in-your-face hero. And they're going to actually commit to Ace here. They drop an Echo Slam. Death Wards there. The burst damage is real. Tankiness or not, if you don't get your BKB off, you are not living through that kind of burst.
The damage that Crit's taken.
Yeah, 1 ulti from Zeus. And that's with a point in an ult field as well.
Yeah. They need pipe.
Well, ideally in this game, if you get to this stage, you have something that like passively heals you, like Tranquils or something. But he obviously wants Arcanes.
So for the team fights, like if you're getting just chomped down by the Zeus and you know the Earthshaker, Fissures, and Echo, or you know they get them on you, it's like Hani's not going to have a team to fight with, and Hani can't. You know, he's not going to be able to pick up these fights. So.
Well, the other thing is, too, is you see how heavily Alliance have to commit to one hero. That's an ideal situation for a Magarchy, you know? Like, when you have to dump that much into one person to make sure that you get the kill.
But they've never baited. Like Fnatic have not had a bait yet. They actually get a kill bottom, and they actually got dinged out earlier by Admiral Bulldog. And it looks like the chase is going to come in. Admiral Bulldog comes in, gets some vision here. Loader's going to come in as well. Ryze will be giving away his life here to Alliance. And not too bad. I would definitely take that trade, a line for a brew. And they're going to be happy with that one. And they did how many Bloodstone charges do we have on Ace now? He's got 6, so he lost.
Yeah, they're going to get this ward too. This is the one thing that actually makes it pretty frustrating for Fnatic, is the fact that they cannot keep vision up. It is so hard to keep vision up against these two heroes, because you never have to spend a dime on sentries. And every time Loda walks anywhere, it's like, oh yeah, this isn't here. Or there's a ward here, there's a ward here, there's a ward here. And if you look at the map, they can't see anything at all. So imagine playing against Night Stalker all the time, where you just can't see shit.
Well, I'm just surprised that the fact that they have very little vision, the Alliance haven't been able to consider Roche as an option. Like, no one's considered Roche.
Against Ember, though, the pit is actually, I think, better for Ember than it was before, because you can almost sit outside of the pit completely. To the right. Yeah. And you can just slight inside, and it is such a pain to deal with that.
But like the thing is, you can play around, like you have map control, you can play around Roche in many ways. You don't actually have to take Roche. You can set up ganks around Roche. You know, you can all disappear from the map, and they can be like, oh my god, they're doing Roche, and actually you're waiting for them to come. You see? He's even like checking. He's like, no, they're not doing Roche, but if they had a ward there, if they were smoked up in that lane, they could have punished Hani. You know, and those quick kills, you know, if you take Hani off the map, that's effectively, you know, Roche is available, maybe the tier 2 top, or maybe even pushing high ground. So, you know, they have this advantage. They have the map control advantage, Alliance, and they need to use it in a better way. And currently they're just farming, and they're just going for, hey, we're going to gamble. You know, we think our team fight's better than your team fight. And, you know, that's such a, in these games, it's such a high risk for 2 pro teams to take. Yeah. Because there's no guarantee who's going to take a team fight. You know, especially when you're playing against the RNG factor of, hey, you know, this empowered Ember Spirit crits. So it's very hard to call who's actually in charge of this game. But it feels like Alliance at least have the pace set. I don't feel that they're sure exactly what they want to do with it, and they've decided to farm, and I'm not sure that's the best idea either. So.
Well, I mean, they still maintain, albeit a very slight gold lead. It's just they only have the vision advantage. That's all they have.
But that also sets the pace, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if they can find an opening to actually kill somebody, then that would be great. But
like
again,
on Admiral Bulldog?
You have to go for the high impact heroes. Like ideally, you kill Hani, which they see, but Hani is onto it. Like he realizes that he is priority #1 for the side of Alliance.
Public enemy.
Yeah, pretty much. And if I were them, honestly, I would just try to group and fight or get Rosh, which is what they're doing right now. And they actually just dewarded the ward around Rosh, so I'm really surprised that Alliance haven't actually just started walking towards here. But oh my god, the Zeus ulti almost kills everyone.
They don't see him top as well. They don't see him where they are in their jungle, so they're not sure, so they're just leaving. They're actually nowhere near.
By the way, Bulldog is going to have a refresher in like 2,000 gold.
I think he's going to pick up solo kills just by refreshing an ulti on
He will actually just kill Ryze and crit. Both. They will both die. Actually, it's got 3 points in the null, so maybe they won't both die. It's going to be close, though.
Yeah, them pipes, boys.
Even just a casual cloak helps tremendously at this point.
Yep. All right, so Alliance are now going to poke their head into Rosh, and they see that obviously it's been evacuated. Rosh is spared for another day. Or another probably just 5 minutes. We come closer to the 40-minute mark. A pretty slow game, but as you mentioned, very close, and the fights, you know, it's one team fight can maybe cause this. We're going to have to check in on buybacks when the team fight actually kicks off, because having buybacks could actually turn this in the other team's favor. So I think, I'm not sure if anyone's saving. No. Actually, Ryze is going to pick up a BKB.
Yeah, the BKB is really kind of the de facto item for him, because now he doesn't have to worry about anything but Slark, and the likelihood of the Slark focusing him over like supports or maybe even the Ember if he can get his hands on Hani is pretty low. So unless he presents himself in a very bad way in the team fight, I think the BKB will be enough to keep him more or less safe. And they're smoked around Roshan right now. They do have vision as well, so they're going to be able to see Loda, but they also know that there's vision here from the side of Fnatic. Loda's actually pinging it out. RP, they're going to throw it onto 8 Mother. No chance to BKB, just drops straight up. And now opens up the opportunity to go for Rosh if they wish, but it doesn't look like they actually want to do that yet.
Just think with Admiral Bulldog, like even a death ward, well-placed death ward, not having a stun for it, you know, it could be devastating. Because you're going to, like, you know, RP was used, so you literally just have telekinesis, you know, stun and also hex on your Lion, and then, you know, shackle or whatever it's called, bowler. I think it's Scriff that called it e-bowler. Yeah, it got changed. It was called like bowler shots apparently. So.
Was it?
Yeah. That's what Scriff said. I think he was lying. He called it e-bowler though.
I'm pretty sure it was always searing chains. I could be wrong, but...
I also want to think you're correct, because I was also confused when Scriff was explaining.
I think we used to call them bolas because that's actually what you would call them.
Yeah, it's from the Demon Hunters, I think, you know, the bowlers.
It was also something that people actually used in war, because it's like they're just rocks and ropes, and you just throw it, and it tangles your feet up, and you can't walk.
And it sounded way cooler than the rocky, ropey weapon.
Yeah,
Scriff
pretty much.
just came in and swore at us, by the way.
Also, I'm pretty sure you could just like throw bolas at somebody to knock them off a horse. I don't know. My medieval history is a little bit rusty. Bruno probably knows, even though you're not Bruno.
I prefer the kind of crouching down spear.
Yeah? Yeah. But then you kill the horse, man. What did the horse do to you?
I'm hungry. What can I say? It's wartime.
That's probably
no one gets spared. All right. Rosh has been up for the whole of this game, and no one's actually felt safe taking it, and understandably why. And we now have the data list completed for Hani, so damage now up to 400.
I'm telling you, man, if the fight goes longer than like 15 seconds, I don't think Fnatic can lose, actually.
I don't think the fight will go longer than 15 seconds.
If he gets one crit on like any non-Slark hero or
yeah, but like
hero.
it's fine. You're never going to hit the Zeus, right? Like the Zeus is going to be so far back, and he's going to have Axe. Refresher.
He's going to have Refresher, yeah. That's actually really big.
And then Loda isn't going to die. And then everyone's going to die on the other team. And then Loda's going to fight the Ember. And Loda's
just loses half his HP every time Bulldog ults. That's got to be so frustrating.
Such a low cooldown as well.
Yeah, what is it, 90 seconds? Yeah, it is. the vision game actually has been the biggest boon for Alliance so far. Because any other team, like if you didn't have the combination of that dewarding duo, it would be so easy to assume map control, you know? Because the Ember is so hard to gank, and if you don't see him, like, how are you going to kill him, more or less? Like, he can push lanes with the bots, just switch all over the place, you know, use remnants defensively, and just keep every single lane push. And I'm almost positive that Fnatic would have been able to get a Roche a lot earlier if they didn't have to deal with the fact that they basically haven't had any vision. Yeah. This is the most warding they've had up, I think, in the last, like, 15 minutes, and they have 2 wards.
Oh, Hanny's got to be careful here. They picked him up. Yep, there's going to be a sheep actually coming in. It's Misery. Echo had followed. 8 Mother's going to come in, as well as Loader, and they take down Hanny, and it's the target that they want. And I don't think there's a buyback, because I think he just bought his Daedalus. Maybe he had, like, 2,000 gold.
No, he doesn't have it.
No buyback. So the map is open. Map is open for 70 seconds. I don't think they have enough damage through just an RP. You know, now you have the refresher Ags on your Zeus. You've got free reign. So let's see what they do in the next minute here, Alliance. And they're looking for more kills. They've smoked up Loader, almost finding somebody. Rise is going to have to just bell.
Oh, crit. Well, they're running the right way.
They're going to catch him.
Yeah, they have wards, though. They did see it. There's going to be a Hex onto a Rise here, followed by the Fissure. Bulldog goes in. Crit actually going to be the first one to fall here. Refreshes the ultimate, but Bulldog not actually able to get it off. Just dies too quickly. Death Ward going to kill a Rise, even with the BKB active. Now Ace wanting to get the heck out of here. Blink forward from Loda. There's actually going to be a bash onto Ace. He's still quite low right now. One more Fissure from Misery will secure that kill.
That's
a team wipe, basically.
GG. It should be. Yeah, picking up Hanny. He was playing so well.
I told you, man. That's the only hero they want to kill.
Yep.
They just want to kill Hani.
Misery got a sheep stick.
To be totally honest, like, I don't know if Arise showed himself on the map before they killed Hani, because that's the only reason I think Alliance even go for that kill. Because if you initiate like that and you get RP'd, at the very least Hani probably lives. And worst case scenario, you get Sleight of Fisted once and he crits and you just die. So I think maybe Arise having showed himself there. I can't remember if he did or not, but if he did, that's definitely why they killed him. But
this also means that Fnatic are going to have one shot at defending high ground. Like,
yeah, but high ground defense is Ember's actually best possible scenario for him.
But he's also going to have to farm up for buyback. Like you're not safe to spend any gold.
He'll have it.
In Aegis.
He'll have buyback.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, he sells his phase just to make sure any TP's back to base. But I don't think he'll even have to do that. I think he'll have it regardless.
But you're falling behind. Like,
I mean, he's still the highest in terms of...
Yeah, but it's the whole team of Fnatic can only go around as 4 members. And they can't, like, they have to achieve, like, picking someone off. And again, they don't have map vision. You know, they're walking blind. The enemy, their jungle that they're currently in, the enemy jungle, they are blind. Like, they do not see the free heroes over by, you know, the tier 2. They don't know they're there. They could be in the jungle. You just don't know. So this is risky play from Fnatic to kind of, you know, they're just trying to make something happen at least. If they can get a pick, that's going to be big for them. Buys Hani more time. Maybe he can pick up another core item and then still have a buyback. But they're blind, and Loda wants to chase. He's got no one behind him that close, but doesn't able to make anything happen. 2,200 gold on Hani. So, Midas has paid off for Loda.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Like, he definitely knew the game was going to be going late. He's like, all right, we're going to...
Our strategy is to bore the commentators.
Well, and in a way, I don't think they wanted to take it super late, per se, but Midas is actually good on any hero that benefits greatly from experience, and I would say that Slark is actually undervalued in terms of how much people actually want levels on the hero. Level 16 for your ulti is huge because of how much movement speed and healing it actually gives you in comparison to the previous rank, and it allows you to be more mobile. You can engage into fights more repetitively if you're so inclined. Obviously, this game only has 40 kills in a 47-minute game, so it's not insanely action-packed, but it's like the option is there. Yeah. So I think the Midas ended up working quite well, considering, I mean, when you can restrict the vision of the opponent, delaying the game is actually a lot more feasible.
So you know what you do now as Fnatic, right? You start like stocking up smokes, and when the fight kicks off and the Brewmaster comes in, you force staff away, yeah, and get away, and then you smoke so you don't get hit by the second Zeus ulti, and then you're like, ah, and then you reinitiate and you win. And then you probably get the Nobel Prize. That's how it works.
Probably. They give them away for everything nowadays, don't they? I mean, it doesn't really feel like there's that much meaning to it.
What are you doing here? Run away.
No, he's fine.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not... Did you say Misery had a Hex?
Yeah.
Okay. I was I just wanted to bring it up.
That's how they killed Honey the first time.
Yeah. Because
it's late game. Late game, baby.
It doesn't actually feel like it's been a 50-minute game to me. So when I saw it, I just like wow.
Everywhere has been safe to farm almost for Alliance because they've had vision completely.
It's a really cool way to play it, though, to be honest. Like, from a commentator perspective, we normally see everything that goes on. But from player perspective, it's got to be so annoying.
Like, even as like commentators, when we get to see the whole map, sometimes you really and like you say like, oh, why isn't he doing this? And it's just like, well, wait a minute, like he doesn't have like so much information that we have, and that's why. But anyway, smoke up from Alliance to see what they can make happen here. They still have that Aegis available. Crit is going to be caught out in a horrible position, but he's not a big problem. If they kill Crit, the rest of them will probably bail on the fight. And oh no, Arise gets hexed, and in comes the double ulti from Admiral Bulldog, and 2 down. Ace is going to be like, run away. Has his bots, and Rise is going to be like, here, Tranquil Boots are awesome. I don't know how they heal you. They must be like self-massaging boots or something.
Hey man, circulation's important, especially for feet.
On planes especially.
Yeah, no kidding. You want to sit for like 800 hours.
They have those little leaflets.
Misery? Okay, I'm not actually sure. Okay, Hani's here, that's why. He bought it in. Echo Slam coming out for Misery, pops the Ghost Scepter, throws a Hex out onto Hani. He's still alive for the time being. 1 second on the blink, no, and he drops the gem, but they don't know. They just want to get out.
Rise has got blink up, no, he doesn't.
Loda's in the vicinity, but he's not going to spot either of them.
They kill the Earthshaker carry.
They retain the gem, though. Which, why did they even buy a gem? Like, did they need a gem?
Who bought a gem?
Alliance.
Okay.
Like, they have a gem. Or no, actually, it's Rise's gem. Yeah, okay. I was going to say, I don't think they would buy a gem. It's Rise's. Cool.
Does it say who bought it? Can we check it out, the bling? Check out the bling?
Yeah, it says who bought it.
Hover over it. Owned by Rise.
Yeah, so when did Rise die last time?
When it drops, it should say, like, also owned by Ake. And then I have a list of people that have picked up the gem.
No, you know what it should do? Is, like, when you pick it up off the ground from somebody who dropped it, it should say, like, X was here. So you just know, and it just stays there the whole game.
Losing gems. Horrible feeling.
Especially when you're the one who has been lacking the vision all game.
Ages ago. No, did he give it to the Rubick?
Yeah, Crit could have had it, I guess.
Because Crit might have been carrying it, and then Rise actually got.
Rise has more farm, so his inventory is more important.
Okay. Well, details, people, details.
Hey man, we got a decent.
Is the just gone yet?
It will be soon if it's not already. Yeah, it's gone.
What's top?
And there's a butterfly actually complete on Loda if he wants to buy it, but I'm assuming he's going to save for buyout.
And he's currently bottom. Rise mid. And also coming bottom is going to be Misery. So they can kill the carry Earthshaker again. Grid's just got a 4-staff, so not necessarily.
Hex now actually coming out from Ace.
Oh, you just get Rapier now on Ember, right? Yeah, Rapier.
I think MKB or Rapier or second Daedalus all are good for their own reasons. The problem is if Honey gets caught once with a Rapier, the game's over.
If he gets caught once, I feel that the game's over. Well, if he gets caught once, has a buyback, the game's still on.
Yeah.
But then they could still just play passively and just like.
I think Alliance are actually going to eventually just choke them out because they can never really find anything.
That's why you get Rapier.
Yeah, no, I agree with that sentiment.
A man with a rapier.
Well, not just that, but if you go outside of the base, you know, and you rapier, like, sleight of fist somebody, then they just have the chance of instantly dying, which is neat. Although I will say that the heroes in Alliance are definitely a heck of a lot tankier than they were. Almost everyone on the team has over 2,000 HP right now. Which to a number still isn't a tremendous amount, but it will require at least a few spams of sleight of fist to be able to get through.
Loda just gonna finish out some catapults and bait out the mid lane, and nothing's gonna come of it. No team actually wanting to fall for his baits, but actually we just had, that was Misery drawing a line.
Oh, here comes the free D ward, courtesy of Fnatic's gem.
Okay, they know where they are. Like Misery's calling this, and he's like, everyone is here, and they are. But they're really well posed. Stay in the trees is pretty extreme right now.
The problem is if they know they're... Yep. Oh. Suddenly, the jig is up, boys.
Run!
Well, they threw out a double ulti, and Crit actually died to Misery on the back of that, and the rest of Fnatic
How did they foil our master plan?
Would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that meddling Zeus.
All right, it's MKB.
Yeah, the
Pesky
MKB.
kids, yeah.
The MKB is nice just because, you know, Butterfly on the Slark.
Meddling kids. Is it meddling kids or
pesky kids and the little dog or something?
The other thing too about the MKB.
Sorry, yes, MKB.
Is
Sleight of Fist still hits through Butterfly now, right? With it.
Right, but
is that it? Is that it?
Brewmaster can also haze you, and he doesn't have a BKB. Yeah. So you definitely want it to make sure that you're doing consistent amounts of damage. And I mean, he hits for almost 500 anyway. So.
You're so smart. You're way smarter than me, Andy.
So smart.
At video games.
Dang. That's fair. I'll take it.
Meddling. Okay.
Of course it's meddling.
Yeah. Scrappy was an annoying little shit though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That was way later, wasn't it? When they introduced him.
I'm Scrappy.
That's true.
All right, here we go. Smoke.
Smoke. Are they going to get Zeus ulted again?
There's an excellent diagram. Their diagrams are not as good. Crit's diagrams not as good as Misery's diagrams. That's what. Let's see, Misery, he just draws such good lines. You know.
It's true.
It's very easy to follow. Crit was very confusing. He was drawing all over the place on the minimap. No wonder they're behind. Okay, here we go. Someone's got to get a kill.
Wait, he just ulted.
And didn't see anybody, so they know they're smoked.
Yeah, the Zeus ulted, and now they're like, get back! Dude, this is like...
Next level, man.
Some really good control tactics, actually, from Alliance.
Like, if I was the other team, I'd be so bored right now. I'd just GG.
I would be annoyed.
And that's how you'd win.
It's like they have not been able to jump anyone for the last, like, I don't know, 30 minutes. They've never been able to take anything on their own terms. The Zeus is actually doing.
You don't get pulled out of Shadow Blade, do you?
You get revealed, but you don't get damaged or anything.
You get revealed?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Misery.
All right, he's living life on the edge.
What you doing?
All right, he decided he wants to get out of here. He gets Sleight of Fisted. Oh, the MKB stopped his TP too. Oh my God. That's got to be frustrating. That's an Ice Frog, why do you hate me moment.
No, I was just saying, you could buy 5 Shadow Blades, you know? But then you'd be like, oh.
Also, I thought Sleight of Fist wasn't supposed to hit Fog.
What?
That's really...
That wasn't our fake change though.
That's OPOP. OPOP.
They're not going to get away with this Roshan, are they?
I think they will. They don't have an Earthshaker. How are they going to go in? They don't have any other initiation. Like, their lockdown is basically the ES.
Okay, Refresher's not up, so he's waiting for his ulti. Oh, Refresher's up soon. They're going to go.
Oh, he has 2 ults, but he's going to have to spend them now. On the high ground, Load is up there. 1 ult goes out. Roshan's still alive, but Hani is dead already. The RP comes out from Arise. The Aegis is just sitting there. 8 Mother comes in. Rise, he wants to try to go for the Aegis, but Arise is actually the one who picks it up himself and blinks out of the pit. Ace stuck up on the high ground. Get a Timber Chain himself down the hill. Ake gonna get hexed. Can he get out of here? Looks like Ace is still on full retreat. Loda blinking up to the high ground as well. The tether is there into the Abyssal Blade. And 8 Mother going to pick up the double. Hani actually almost died just to Zeus damage.
Yeah, he tanks quite a lot. I mean, he only has damage items. He literally, there's no stats on any of his items.
And he does not have buyback either.
Nope, GG. And he didn't even need the Earthshaker.
He sold his phase boots and he still, oh no, he dropped his phase boots, didn't he? He didn't actually sell them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think, because I would assume he would have had buyback, but either way, buyback coming out from Rise and Ace as well, but Ace is just getting bursted down here. No BKB, not a chance to live through that one. Blink forward, clap, and the split coming out from 8 Mother. He wants to kill this mag. I think this just could be the beginning of the end. Hani's still not alive for 30 seconds. Arise spending some time flying around, thinking about the choices that he's made so far. He's going to be able to blink out of the Cyclone into the well, and another blink away from the side of Fnatic, but they're going to be able to get the racks. Alliance looking pretty strong here. Top lane is also pushing in at the same time. Look at the range creeps. Jesus. All right, that's 57 minutes worth of range creeps right there. I think this is double racks, then they get out. Or Hani's up in 10. Could be a little bit of a close call, but Loda does a little bit too much damage. He hits.
I think you can 100. Just wait for your Zeus to have Ags up again. Like, he's got a 1 ulti available, and they can just farm up and just wait for the Ags. You saw how much that mattered. Like, it literally just came off cooldown and everyone exploded. You know, Arise was happy to get the Aegis. The fact that they lost Hani and he didn't offer any damage was bad, and they're actually just going to fake back, come back in. Loda picks up a kill, and yeah, it's let's see what Hani can do on the defense, but they've got too much. Nice 4-staff, but actually Misery baits out the fissure, but no follow-up from here. And I'm just going to pick up some creep kills. But you need a lot of help, and I think this is, you're going to have too much.
Without Empower, Hani doesn't do enough, I don't think. Like, he really
like
needs
300 damage without, no, he's at 400 damage?
Yeah,
Well,
it gives them around
an extra 50, 60 damage.
Yeah. It's not necessarily about the damage it gives them, it's the cleave, just in case people are right next to each other. That's really where the damage starts to come in, because it's not mitigated.
We haven't seen an RP for the last 30 minutes of the game.
But that's why I wanted to mention Alliance and how well they played it, because that's only due to the fact that Fnatic never actually knew where everyone was. I mean, it's one thing for a team to do this like Death Ball-y 5-man push where setting up RPs becomes easier because Alliance have the clear game plan of pushing. But they didn't this game. They had the game plan of controlling the entire map and having the vision advantage the whole time. And then you take the fights on your own terms, and they find Ace inside of the base, Ace of base, I guess you could say. And he's gonna, I couldn't help it, man. The words were so close together. I just had to say it. Loda gonna eat a Sleight of Fist here.
And he's hexed.
But he's
not
gonna
going
be
down,
fine.
though.
I think he will die, actually. Loda coming in. Oh, the bash.
I think he's dead. Yeah.
The bash is real. Oh, Hani ends up buying back. RP gonna hit on a bunch of spirits here, and you can see the damage potential coming out from Hani, but
Death Ward.
yeah, stolen Death Ward, crit, unfortunately dying.
With no ag, so he doesn't actually have the upgrade, I don't think. Damn.
I don't know. I don't think there's much left for Fnatic to do. And he actually hexes during the Dark Pack, which leaves Loda plenty of time to pop the BKB.
Loda's Dark Packed every hex that's actually come on him.
He's played extremely well.
He's like been so good at his slot. Like they've earned this victory 10 times over Alliance with how safe they've played it. It must have been the most infuriating game for Fnatic, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go into next game. I would just like pick Trilane.
Ban Zeus.
I'd just be like, ban Zeus, pick Trilane, fight. It's like pick all the gaming heroes.
Yeah, I guess the way to trump these types of lineups where the Ember becomes a teamfight monster is to just have longer range and kill the whole team before you even go into the fight.
Yeah. Like, he can't farm because of no vision without being picked off. And even if you get an initiate on him with the Hex and, you know, Fissure, it's like you just spam your Zeus ultis, and then Arise has to be so well positioned to be able to skew at RP. And I have to say, like, Crit's played awesome on this Rubick. He's been a really good player, but it's been like a very non-factor just because of the scaling of this the Rubick in the game. It's like his 4-staff is what he's offering to the team. It's not Death Ward. Crit's going to go down to Ake, claiming some more fantasy points. If there was a fantasy point for this game, I'm not even sure. Who knows?
Well, 61 minutes in, and that's going to be mega creeps here. Loda going to throw the Abyssal onto Ace, who wants to try to make something happen here. RP is only going to hit on one, unfortunately, and it's just Ake. Yeah. Timbersaw going to be dropping here. Gem's going to be on deck. Arise popping the BKB, but unfortunately, Scotty and Basher don't necessarily care about that. He refreshes, to get another RP off. Remember, he's your god too, James. Zeus, what a hero. I think that was actually the pick that won them the game, to be honest.
Last pick as well.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing is, like, people know that Slark is the hero that you pick for dewarding, yeah? But to be able to have another hero on your team who not only has that late game just insane damage output factor. We're actually playing Ace of Base, by the way, or at least for a second I heard it in my ear. Production was messing with me. But either way, it's like that combo makes it so hard to find any openings whatsoever. Like, that's the kind of game where you want like a Night Stalker just to have some vision and be able to find stuff.
So the Ember was picked
last, I think.
It last?
It was very close to last. It was either 4th or 5th, I want to say.
And the Zeus pick was the last pick.
Yeah.
But the last pick did actually go to...
No, they were both last pick, actually.
Yeah, but like, who had the
last
pick?
Alliance.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So do you think it was like designed... I don't think they did, but we'll say yeah. Do you think it was designed then, that Zeus, to play around the Ember? Like in the late game? Like actually like stopping the split push, stopping the farm, stopping the map control, and just destroying everything apart from the Ember?
It would be cool to say that that was the game plan. But I think they kind of wanted a hero who just did a lot of damage. And another hero that, because I think they saw the Ember. No, wait, did Fnatic actually have last pick? I don't remember.
I think they did.
My memory is so ass. But either way, I think it synergized really well. And I think having a hero who can stay that far away from the team fight and still contribute a large amount of damage synergizes with heroes like Slark in itself very well. Because you go in and you get like your Dark Pact off and you get your Shadow Dance, which ensures, what, like 5 seconds or so of free damage. That's not always enough to get the kill. But when you have a Zeus ulti and like a long-range fissure, your pick potential suddenly becomes a heck of a lot higher. So I think that the team in general was just very well drafted.
Well done, Alliance. They'll take game number 1 here. There's 2 more coming up between these 2 teams. Hopefully they're a little bit faster, but we don't know. We can't predict the future. We try every week. We try, but it never works. But we can predict that we're going to a break, and when we come back, there's game number 2. And yeah, and then on the other stream, I believe they're doing Team Tinker versus 4ASC.
Yep.
4 anchors and a scene captain,
And
which
it's
is just starting, yeah. And our game will be starting soon too. But you can go check in on them and say hi to Bruno and Lumi if you so wish.